combinations for their team fight, but they also have this. They saw the Monkey King early. They got the Rubik first. When the Rubik steals the Wukongs, it is really strong because your statues have range attack. So even if you're outside the circle, you've got a lot of damage on hand. So there's really a good amount of answers here on the side of the Byzantine Raiders. And I think if you're simply too base right now, you do have to watch out about that. Like you've got to hit your spikes. You have to keep an eye out on this mid lesh. Really be aware and be ready to defend that tier 1 mid, because if that falls early, you're going to have a hard time taking control in your jungle. And they did start off with their 3 cores first, so it left them vulnerable to being drafted around. There's a lot of magic damage here on Byzantine Raiders, and if they do manage to just force these fights out before an early BKB comes out in the Monkey, could be trouble for the side of 2-Base.
Well, it looks like we might have a very, very early fight, John, up at this top rune spot. You can already see the side of 2-Base getting ready for a potential first blood attempt. Of course, with the Tusk, you have plenty of opportunity to try and get those first bloods very early on. And they are going to give it a crack here. They go for the early level 1 Maledict. Not quite. They'll just hold out for the skill point there on the Witch Doctor. So it's yet to be seen what Empyrean does opt to go for that level 1 skill. I don't really feel like they're going to need it anyway, as long as they get a nice tag team off with Z-Freak. That should just guarantee the first blood, but we'll see. So we do see their Monkey is scouting around as a courier right now, trying to suss out what's going on. Yep, gonna come in, Frugos there as well, and they do move in now. Z-Freak, no, he gets knocked back for a second, but the Balor Strike is gonna be there, and it looks like this Mars is gonna be first blooded. Empyrean the one to take it on the position 5 Witch Doctor. And I've got to say, I'm almost surprised they didn't see that one coming, John. It's a pretty standard thing to happen when you are up against the Tusk. Perhaps a bit overly confident there from the Byzantine Riders.
Yeah, they do get punished well. Cube's going to be held back just a bit. That gives a nice injection of EXP, some AoE gold going out to the side of 2-Base. Of course, doesn't set Cube back too badly. He TP's back in. We are going to see that lane unfold. Boris is on his signature Monkey King that he has played a lot through open qualifiers. Empyrean is on that Witch Doctor. And there is some potency here. Like level 2, level 3 spikes for this Witch Doctor Monkey duo is pretty scary. Cube has to watch out. Play safe with just farming up with a God's Rebuke. Maybe have Frugos perhaps get a pull off to get some EXP up. But this should be a steady lane for 2-Base. As long as they keep their spacing right and maybe wait for that level 2, level 3 spike, they can actually start to harass out this Mars.
They're going right now. The cask is out. Now, Boris, he doesn't have the Jingu Mastery up yet, of course. He went for the level 1 Boundless Strike. That is going to allow him to secure range creeps fairly easily, however. And it looks like they just wanted to get some free harass out onto this Mars. And it's kind of like you pointed out, this Witch Doctor plus Monkey King combo is actually a very strong laning combination as they go in now, but Imperium, he may have gone a bit too far. He is going to die, but Boris is going to try and trade. He gets the Jingu Mastery, and the Maledict is going to prove to be enough to get the kill on the Mars. That's going to be the second kill onto Cube so far, and that's not going to be a great feeling for this offlane Mars at all.
No, it's definitely not. He's had to TP twice back in lane. He's already slightly behind in terms of EXP, so that spike we talked about in the Monkey already kicking into gear. Have to watch it as it just gets worse at level 3. Of course, that does give us some time to talk about the other lanes. Down mid, we do have the Puck versus Leshrac lane. I Annihilate up against Alien Mana Banana. And this one's pretty steady lane. Not too much excitement coming out. You are seeing Alien Mana Banana fall slightly behind in farm. It does get dewarded as well, so that gives I Annihilate even more space to play here. You do have to ensure that your Leshrac hits your spikes. Level 3 is up and running. I Annihilate, again, has been working his range advantage and Illusory Orb quite well. Alien Mana Banana hasn't been able to harass out too much. We'll see if that changes down the line, but perhaps we'll see a rotation come out right around the 4-minute power rune.
Absolutely. Of course, bot lane Z-Freak going to find himself in a spot of danger. And actually a great deny out. Monkeys Forever does manage to deny off the Tusk. You saw Murderer. He was trying to just wait for that last hit opportunity, but he did not have the damage output to secure the kill of Monkeys. He was waiting that whole time to be able to try and get that deny off, and that's going to be rather unfortunate for the side of the Byzantine Raiders. You do rely on getting these early picks, especially when you do have a position 5 Venomancer. They are not going to be able to get it in Z-Freak. He's back in the lane now with full mana and full HP, so I don't really think he's going to be too upset about that.
No, definitely not. Like, it's given Monkeys Forever some good space to earn some solo EXP. In fact, Z-Freak has been rather sacrificial on this Tusk. He's been just pulling the lane. He's still at level 1, which is not what we're used to seeing from the Pause 4, but this is enabling Monkeys Forever to get a good EXP advantage over Murderer. And we talked about the Ursa versus Batrider. The Ursa tends to be good, but that's when he has Enrage. Right now, at the laning phase, there's a lot that Monkeys Forever can do, and looks like he is getting that job done really well.
I thought they might make the jump in onto Z-Freak. It's a lot of damage coming out from Light Shader, but they're going to let Z-Freak go. He's going to be just fine to walk out of there. Now, mind you, he doesn't really have much regen here on the Tusk, but I believe his courier should be bringing some out for himself. Looks like Light Shader, meanwhile, will go and try and secure the power rune, but that is going to be actually up at the top rune spot, so they still managed to get it. Alien Mana Banana is the one to take it on the Leshrac. Annihilate actually having no help around to be able to try and get the power runes for himself. So he's going to be left with an empty bottle here, which should give Alien a bit of an advantage in this mid lane now to try and catch up a little bit. But Annihilate, he doesn't look too bothered by it. Still, bot lane, Light Shader is going to go down. Monkeys Forever able to pick up a kill on the Batrider. Very easy one at that with the snowball and the tag team. But now Murderer jumping in for a slam, but that was really it. Just trying to threaten Monkeys Forever and Z-Freak. It's just really not that much damage, though.
Yeah, it's still early on for the Ursa to really start to apply damage. You've already got, again, that huge EXP advantage in Monkeys Forever. Love this little play coming out. They hand the bottle to Z-Freak. He's going to refill it with a bounty. Not much Murderer can do with that, so you're going to have potentially full mana coming out for Monkeys again if he juggles his bottle right, and that just means a lot more pressure being applied bot. Murderer has not had the smoothest time. It's starting to fall a bit behind, especially when you compare that to how Boris has been doing up top.
Absolutely. I mean, Boris, he's having a great old time. 28 and 5 in terms of CS. Completely free farming, it just seems like, as those early kills onto this Mars really did affect his game, and well, Frugos has not been able to do too much in the way of helping him out, but maybe now they go onto Imperium. They do get the spear off and they do get the kill, but now Boris wants to try and turn this one back around. They do have the help of Annihilate, and that's a great dream call out. They got both of them. Boris wants one more hit on Frugos, but he couldn't quite find it. In fact, they might not even find Cube. He's going to be fine. In fact, he'll salve up and remain in the lane and Annihilate. It was a great dream call out, but it does not lead to any kills whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I don't think this is too much wasted time for Annihilate, considering how far ahead he was down mid. This was a good opportunity to try to snowball more, and they did give Z-Freak some space down mid to soak some EXP
Top
out.
lane again. They're trying, John. Melodic is going to be out. He does have 3 stacks of Jingu, but a great spear out now. He's going to make sure they can't proc the Jingu Mastery. And with that, he's going to be very low in terms of HP, but he does have the bottle up, and he should be just fine to remain in the lane. In fact, now Z-Freak comes in from the backlines onto Frugos. They want the Rubik first. Spear is there, but it doesn't really land on a tree, and that means Frugos is going to die. Z-Freak, meanwhile, does have the shards out. He'll go for a snowball back, though, as Alien has shown up on the Leshrac. They're going to try and make the chase onto the Tusk, though I do not believe they will be able to catch out Z-Freak. He's going to be just fine. And I suppose that kind of evens out the previous play from Annihilate, as now Alien does make the rotation on the Leshrac and doesn't get really much out of it.
Cube, though, it's all alone.
That he is. He's in trouble again, and he is going to die. Z-Freak. He backed off for a moment, but he just came straight back, and well, it's the power of the Tusk. You could just kind of rotate him with tag team and get kills. It's not too hard for Z-Freak.
Definitely not. And Z-Freak, again, he's left his off lane. He's finally getting some EXP up. He just hits level 4, but he's still been highly effective in this Tusk. Like, compare that to Frugos right now. He's been stuck up top. He's been trying to help out Cube. It's been a rough start for their off lane. They are sort of holding on, but just compare the progression you're seeing now from Monkeys Forever. He's at 6. He's got some jungle space to stack up and start farming up. That should lead to really early boots of travel timing. That's just a lot of trouble when you have a Batrider that hits that timing really quick.
Z-Freak and Imperium, they seem to want to try and get a kill onto Alien Mana Banana, but they were hoping the power rune would spawn up at the top rune spot. It was down at the bot rune spot anyway, and there was an observer ward watching them the whole time, so they knew what they were up to. I believe that ward was placed there by Frugos as well, so great presence of mind from him on the Rubik to make sure that his mid laner is going to be safe. Mana Banana is going to be able to sustain himself for another gank attempt here. From the side of the Dire, Z-Freak now going to move back up towards the top lane. Really just wants to keep the kills and tempo going, but it looks like he was scouted out as Light Shader. He's now going to show up at that top lane preemptively. Z-Freak still going to move in with that tag team. This could be greedy, but now Boris is going to jump in as well.
Oh.
Gale is not going to connect by anyone, but Alien Mana Banana is going to move in onto Imperium, and they do get one. Onto Z-Freak. They know he's in the tree line somewhere, and now they spot him out, and that means Z-Freak is also going to go down. And it looks like they weren't quite aware that Light Shader was already there. And of course they weren't expecting the Leshrac to make the rotation in, but he does. That is a very worthwhile rotation out for the side of the Radiant.
Yeah, they managed to find a couple of key kills on supports. They break off the snowball that Boris wants to get with all these early kills. And they let Alien Man and Banana clear out some stacks. So really good use of time there for the Byzantine Raiders. A bit of a mistake there coming out. I think Boris was blocked from getting his follow-up right-click, so he knew he couldn't get off the Jingu in time and just bailed out early. So it could have been worse, but they are going to go again on Cube.
Yeah, they are. Cube's going to be in massive danger. The Melodic is there, and now even Annihilate coming in just to make sure they do secure the kill. And of course, he did have a haste rune anyway, so it does make it quite simple for him to make that rotation. Into the Radiant Triangle they go. Want to make sure that no stacks are being farmed by this Leshrac, and of course secure the boundary rune as well. They will be able to do so. Well, it does look like the stacks were already taken by our Lesh. They do miss out on that, but they get so many bounty runes out of this. I believe they found all 4 of them on the map, and that is pretty darn huge for TOOBASED.
It really is. It's a lot of gold coming through. Again, it's really helping out this playstyle for TOOBASED. Like, Monkeys Forever is still alone, although he might be in trouble now. Alien Man Banana has an Invis.
That he does, and Frugos is going to lift him up. Oh, but the Split Earth doesn't land. Still, they'll get the arena down, and with the spear, it is going to be enough. Still now Empyrean and Z-Freak moving as a trio with Annihilate. Even Boris TPing down to the bot tier 1 tower, and they want that Leshrac. They'll snowball, but it won't reach, but a great chance out. Z-Freak positioning it perfectly, and now the jump in. They have the Dream Coil as well. They'll go after the Mars next. Jingu Mastery is going to be there into a fantastic Boundless Strike. Boris got 2 of them, and that means Frugos is going to be in danger as well. He tries to juke them out, but there is nowhere to go. He is going to die. 3 down for essentially the price of nothing. I suppose you could call, you know, Monkeys Forever a price, but he was dead way beforehand anyway. Meanwhile, speaking of Monkeys Forever, John, Light Shader gonna get lassoed up solo by Monkeys, and he does end up going down.
Yeah, you're hitting that spike on this Batrider. Travels up at around, what, the 11-minute mark now. You've also got TOOBASED ready to go on those tier 1 towers. Tier 1 bot gonna be pressured in. You do see our Ursa up top, Murderer, trying to get the same damage out, but he is all alone. There's going to be enough time for a rotation here, and you do see Annihilate try to stop Murderer. So not going to be a tier 1 for tier 1 trade. You're going to be a step up now on the side of TOOBASED, and that just gives him a little bit more map to play with, as Boris is ready to just jump these trees and hunt.
Great Primal Spring in. They have Z-Freak from the side coming in onto the Leshrac. He just respawned, but he is going to die again. Still, they will find a great trade though. Boris does die, and now the rotation out from Byzantine Raiders means a triple kill out for Frugos. And of course the tips do come out towards Boris for that attempt. Definitely very worthwhile for Byzantine Raiders.
Yeah, just a bit greedy from Boris coming out, taking that tier 1, not expecting any sort of rotation in the jungle to get them punished. So really good defense coming out from Byzantine Raiders. It did cost them their mid. So it's not the cleanest trade, but they find something in exchange. They are starting to build up on Murderer now. He had a slower start, but his Battle Fury's up. So our Ursa Battle Fury is ready, and this is the point where our Ursa can start to outfarm our Monkey, especially since Boris is going for a much more fight-oriented build. He's got the Maelstrom up, he can clear out camps, but we've seen the emphasis from Boris just going hunting, and if he doesn't start to find these kills constantly, Murderer is just going to get more efficiency out from the map due to this Battle Fury.
I would agree with that. So you are going to have to split the farm up with this Leshrac, and we know that both these cores can get a little bit greedy when it comes to CS. So we'll see how they do split the map up here on Byzantine Raiders and whether they can really be efficient with this Battle Fury as well as the Leshrac. Looks like Alien Mana Banana is going to move onto the right side of the map and just take the more risky farm in that Radiant jungle for now. And they are going to give the offlane away to Murderer, as they do still need that tier 1 tower to go down, so they can secure some more camps in the Dire jungle. Murderer, he's going to move in now. Quick Clip's going to come out from TOOBASED, but it's not really going to matter too much. They aren't making the rotations to defend. Looks like they are more than happy with the fact that this tier 1 tower is going to be going down very, very late for the side of Byzantine Raiders. Meanwhile, Light Shader needs to be careful in that mid lane, as he was trying to secure a power rune, but Z-Freak is going to try and secure it himself, and he does end up taking it. Light Shader was about to deny it off with the Plague Ward.
The one strange thing for Byzantine Raiders is that they haven't been grouping up to play with this early Leshrac and Arena combos that they can pull off. They still have a lot of magic damage on hand. They don't quite have the level in Poison Nova yet from Light Shader, but once you do have that, I think that's going to be the timing for Byzantine Raiders to start to look to maybe take some early fights. Would want that mid-tier 1 gone as well with a Leshrac, but there's a smoke here from TOOBASED.
Yeah, this is really bad news for Byzantine Raiders if this fight does not go their way, as they are relying on getting towers earlier than TOOBASED, but that does not seem to be the case thus far. Now, Monkeys does pop the Firefly. They have found the Mars out with the lasso, but the Wukong's, or rather, yeah, Wukong's command is going to be there. Cube does end up going down. It's going to be a nice, simple kill. Arena is also going to go down. It was committed. And while that was happening, iAnnihilate was just pushing up that tier 1 mid tower, as now a Great Shard's out once again into the Dream Coil. Are they going to make the dive though? It looks like they do not want to, but Monkeys Forever, he may have gone a bit too far. He does get the Firefly off, but Murderer, no, the Blink is going to be there in time. Nice escape there from TOOBASED. Still, the hold of that mid tier 1 tower does continue. They have not taken it quite yet. But I believe they will still be pretty satisfied with the amount of damage they did get out.
Definitely. The awkward thing here for Byzantine Raiders is that Murderer has to show up mid. He has to take the front line, he has to show himself in lane, and that means he's not maximizing the Battle Fury. He just needs to try and focus in on his triangle, focus on the stacks, get some farm up. He's not going to be ready to fight until at least the BKB. And I think Byzantine Raiders are starting to understand that. They're just trying to get Murderer some space out. They're going to have to defend as 4 and fight as 4 while their Ursa is still playing this farming game. They've just got to maximize this early Battle Fury.
That they do. Light Shader, of course, on that Veno is just going to start stacking wards up in that mid lane to try and prepare for the defense that they will inevitably have to commit to. It's like they'll bring in Cube to take care of the creep wave, and they are going to go for a quick smoke up as 3. But where do they head to? They'll go down to the bot lane where they may have spotted out Boris, but Boris, he's in the tree line now. He's not going to be too easy to find. Now, mind you, they still do have the arena to drop, so they can clear out this tree line, but it's going to be rather hard to find out where Boris has gone to, and it looks like they do give up on the Monkey. Instead, they're going to move up towards the north, where Monkeys is now going to spot them out. Thanks to that Dream Coil out from Frugos, Monkeys does jump straight in, but he's surrounded. The arena's going to be there with a great cask sound. Poison Nova as well. Empyrean, he's trying to channel the Death Ward. He will get a double, it looks like, but Alien Mana Banana does also get a double kill for himself, as now they go into Light Shader. They'll find another one. It's going to be the Venomancer going down, and I would dare say it is going to be another positive trade for the side of TOOBASED.
It definitely is. The smoke break from Monkeys Forever, and the fact that he immediately just turned around with the information he had on hand. The rest of the team was still under the smoke when he jumped in under the ward. He was really confident, but does secure them the win. They take that mid-tier 1 as well, so you're starting to see that control come into play for TOOBASED. And
Z-Freak Shard's not going to land, and it looks like he will be forced to turn around. Murderer was making his way in just in case, but this is not what he wants to be doing. He wants to keep the farm up on the Ursa for now. Speaking of Murderer though, John, in terms of net worth, he is right at the top of the board, just ahead of the Monkey King being played by Boris. So They aren't still in a very good position when you consider the Ursa's farm. I do get slightly concerned about everyone else on the side of Byzantine Raiders, though, as everyone else is struggling quite a bit here.
Yeah, it's not the healthiest farm distribution for Byzantine Raiders. While Murderer is up there, as you've mentioned, Alien Mana, Banana, and Cube have definitely taken a hit here. So you're not going to see any particularly fast timings. Cube's Yules and Blink is going to be delayed, but if they start finding some pickoffs now, with the levels they've built up, they could start to find more, except TOOBASED are circling around.
Yeah, they get a nice lift off onto Z-Freak. In fact, an Arena is going to be dropped onto Boris as well, but Boris is surviving, and now the snowball does come in. Monkeys, he's looking for a lasso attempt. They move in now with a great dream call out. I Annihilate into the Wukong's command. They'll take down 2 straight away onto the Leshrac. Alien Mana Banana, he's trying to get himself out of this, but there's no way out. Z-Freak's going to chase him down into the tree line. Meanwhile, Empyrean is taking care of Cube, just slowing him down on the Mars. He'll try for the TP play, and they do not have a Sun available. But they are going to get a 4-for-0 trade. Another great team fight out from TOOBASED, and John, they're making it look easy.
Their movement's just on point. You saw Byzantine Raiders try to go in, but they were already encircled by TOOBASED. They've just got really strong understanding of the movements coming out here from Byzantine Raiders. The Raiders, for their part, they're back to forcing out these awkward fights for Murderer. Like, he took that fight. He was very close to his BKB. I think if he just took the time to farm that up instead, he'd at least have that item up ready to go, and then you start forcing the point in Byzantine Raiders. Instead, it's delayed by just a few more gold once more, and you are seeing Boris now pull ahead a bit. He's got his Aghanims up, he's got those soldiers that come around now, and it looks like TOOBASED might be considering Roche now, as they've already got Boris around camping that area, and they've already got control of the triangle as well.
Well, this is one of the dumber things about the Monkey King Aghanim Scepter, is it can attack the Roshan. You can stack them up. Still, Empyrean going to be chased down now by our Leshrac. Alien going to chase him down, but a nice boundless strike out, giving Empyrean some time. He'll get the Death Ward out as well. Cube trying to just stun him up, and they will eventually get him. So it's a lot of commitment out just for a position 5 Witch Doctor, and you look at Alien Mana Banana, he almost died throughout all that. That is not a great feeling if you are this mid Leshrac.
No, definitely not. They are hitting that spike, though, so you do have the backup now of your Ursa with a BKB. BKB Battle Fury feels slightly underwhelming. I think you really want the Batcher into Abyssal first before you're going to be comfy, but there might not be enough time for Byzantine Raiders to wait that long. So this should be the time where they play around this fresh BKB on Murderer, especially since, again, you saw our Monkey King did divert for the Aghs instead of the BKB. So he's like
Annihilate jumps in, he gets a double silence off into the cask, but no Dream Coil being committed quite yet. He could turn around, and he does. A 3-man Dream Coil there. They haven't got the kill yet. The Snowball is going to save the day for now. Z-Freak trying to buy him time. They still haven't got him. They'll kill off the Tusk, but this Puck is going to survive another day's Cube now. Is going to be sacrificed for the Tusk kill. That, again, is just not going to be what they wanted, as now Monkeys even going after Light Shader. It's just another bad trade out for this Radiant side. TOOBASED, no matter what happens, they seem to be able to still find a positive trade in any circumstance. And if you're Byzantine Raiders with this draft, John, you are running out of time. You're definitely not feeling very happy right now.
No, definitely not. There's a timer on your Leshrac. There's only so long his magic damage is going to be effective. They haven't taken a lot of tier 1s. Like, mid-tier 1 still stands here for TOOBASED, although it is at 173 HP. The bot tier 1's still there. Tier 2s are basically untouched. Not the timings we're used to seeing from a draft with Leshrac on mid. They are clumping up, though. It looks like, again, they still want to make use of this BKB. It's going to be off cooldown. 9-second charge left on Murderer. They are just going to have to try to look for those pickoffs to bounce back in and to get some space out for a push.
Look at the positioning here from Empyrean, though. He's just kind of ready to break the smoke, as now even Monkeys is going to break the smoke of Murderer. They'll try into the Witch Doctor, but the Glimmer Cape is going to be there, and they even glyph the tower, which might mean the Deny is going to be out as well, just to really rub the salt in the wound. And they do get the Deny off, thanks to Z-Freak. I love that positioning out from Empyrean, just reading what Byzantine Raiders want to do, and being in the front lines, ready to break the smoke rotation if it is coming in. So instead now, Byzantine Raiders, they're going to try and move up towards the top lane where I Annihilate is kind of being baited in, but he does get a nice Dream Coil still. It was stolen by Frugos, but Alien is still falling very low. The spear will not land on the puck. He is going to be fine as now Z-Freak goes straight in onto Frugos. Frugos trying to survive, but he just can't. You just can't survive the damage output right now. And Monkeys Forever, he's just going to keep going. Z-Freak will whip him into shape as now he does get right next to Light Shader. He won't even bother with the lasso. Just going to chase him down with the sticky napalm and does eventually get the kill.
Yeah, you know, Monkeys Forever has been holding on to lasso for, what, the last 2 fights? He hasn't even had to use it to find these wins. So TOOBASED really just on point for their positioning. They managed to break up Byzantine Raiders, and they're just going to take this rush. It melts way too fast with the itemization they've got in Boris, but how much damage is coming through. So now you've got to deal with 2 lives on TOOBASED. And the Byzantine Raiders, their raids have not been successful here, Mike. I think they've got to kind of rethink their game plan. Murderer is fairly close to the Abyssal. I mean, he's at least got the Basher, but he really needs the Abyssal up to prevent himself from being kited around. And that timing we've been talking about in Alien Man Banana, it's really starting to hit its peak. There are no BKBs. Well, I was going to say there are no BKBs, but Boris finishes his up. But the effectivity of Flesh is already really starting to drop a bit here. Even just this Glimmer Cape on Empyrean already mitigates a lot of the focused damage you want to pump out with that Flesh.
That it does. TOOBASED, they're happy to just take their time. I mean, they realize how much of an advantage they are garnering here with a 9k net worth lead. With that Aegis, of course, they will look to make some kind of play just a little bit later on. We'll see if Boris can pick up the Basher before they do make that big rotation. For now, at least, Byzantine Raiders are going to move themselves in. Up towards the top lane again. This is kind of meant to be their area to farm, but it has been rather tough for them as I Annihilate just seems to always be around on the puck. He has been holding down the fort.
Just what that should help. Got it.
Look at TOOBASED. Look at their positioning right now, John. They're just all over the map, farming so efficiently. And when you compare that to Byzantine Raiders, they're all just sitting as 5 in the triangle. It's just... you're not going to be able to catch up in terms of net worth when this is how you have to position as a team.
They just have no choice. They've lost a lot of control on the map. Their wards are mainly focused around the Roche area. And you can see TOOBASED just really confident. They know they're not going to be jumped. They know they've got the vision game up. They might be able to catch Monkeys, but Firefly away. Not much you can really do to stop him from just running.
It's just a great play out from Monkeys Forever to read the play like this. And now he might even turn around onto Murderer. He does get the flame break out. Still, there is going to be a bit of a rotation now onto Boris. But Boris, he'll get the BKB off in time. Z-Freak's there as well. A great start out with the Walrus Punch. Now Alien, he's going to be in danger. He's right in the Wukong's command. He's going to go down as well. Murderer, he tries to fight this one out, but he's been lassoed through the BKB into the Wukong's command. He's going to die. The only one dead on the side of TOOBASED is going to be Imperium, and he won't mind as they do also get Cube, and they might even find a 5th. Frugos, he does manage to get back towards the tier 4 towers, but TOOBASED, every single team fight in this game, number 1, has gone their way. And that's going to be a 14k net worth lead now. They are looking really darn good to get us started for this NADPC.
That they are. The issues right now, they're going for more.
A great boundless strikeout from Boris to set up for Monkeys. Just the coordination out from TOOBASED, John, it really is on point.
It really is. They're living up to the name. Definitely looking very strong, very based in how they're playing right now. Going to be taking this early tier 3 as well. And this is not what you expect when you're playing against Lesh. You expect Alien Man and Banana to take control, but they're not quite done yet.
They can't get anyone. I Annihilate, he's going to jump back in onto the left rack, and Alien, he's just going to die. He just can't survive the damage output. They're going to leave the racks for now as well. They're not going to risk anything. Boris, he'll hold on to the Aegis. And with that, TOOBASED, I mean, I keep reiterating this net worth lead. It's a 16k net worth lead now. And he is going to have the Abyssal Blade up relatively soon.
Yeah, this is bad news all the way down for Byzantine Raiders. They haven't taken control on the map with Lesh. They're still waiting for their own Abyssal on Murderer, and Murderer is actually queuing up a Blink, which makes it... I mean, you can tell that he's being kited around hard, but I don't think the Blink's going to solve anything. I think it's down to how he pops his BKB and his Enrage. The issue a while ago was that he was BKB'd but had no Enrage, so the lasso just had full effect.
Look at the shards out from Z-Freak, John. He blocks the way of Murderer. They know where he is. They're just torturing him right now. He's just been set ablaze. Now the lasso comes out, but a nice Enrage is there from Murderer. Maybe they kind of played around a bit too much. No, Boris is going to be here at the Wukong's command, and that means Murderer. He tries to BKB away, but there is no chance in hell as down towards the south. Empyrean does go down, but now I Annihilate shows up. Roots them in place, and I Annihilate. He gets another kill just on his own. In fact, they want even more now. Monkeys forever. Looking for an opportunity. Doesn't have the lasso available, but he does have a Yule Scepter up, and Boris is just going to Primal String straight in with the Dream Call out. They're going to find another. In fact, Z-Freak just jumps into the Radiant base and helps get the Rubik as well. TOOBASED is just playing this so well.
Oh yeah, they've been on point for the rotations. They even find Alien for their TPs as well.
They're all over the place, John. TOOBASED getting another one. And poor Alien Mana Banana, he's had a rough game. He is not happy right now. He's going to die as well. And it just seems like they have nowhere on the map to farm. Absolutely zero area for the side of Byzantine Raiders.
No place on the map to farm, no place on the map to even just group up and take control. Like, they've got this ward under Triangle, at least the Venom ward, but they just don't have any control. Lead up to 20k now for the side of TOOBASED, and I don't know what else to say. Like, the Aegis has expired, so you don't have a second life in Boris, but the Abyssal's almost done. He's got just about, I don't know, 700 gold left to farm up. Once you've got that Abyssal up in the Monkey, well, just makes initiation that much easier. You're still not quite there for Murderer. Again, he's saving up for the Blink first. The Abyssal is not that close anyway as well in comparison, so it's just not there. I think right now Byzantine Raiders really need to maybe just use all their spells out on one big core. If they can find that kill, do that several times over, you can start to catch up. The issue is, all of the cores on the side of TOOBASED are just way too big. Boris is so far ahead. I Annihilate even is above the Battle Fury Ursa. And speaking of that Battle Fury, it just never felt like Murderer got the space to really maximize that item. He got it so early on, but he was forced to join his team way too often, and it just doesn't jive well with what you want to do with a Battle Fury.
Well, I think you've got to give props to TOOBASED rather than criticize the Byzantine Raiders here, right, for that, because they've just been suffocating them as they are right now. Onto Murderer again in that mid lane. And Murderer, he knows that's dangerous farm to take, but he has no choice in the matter. He has to farm somewhere. In fact, they found another now as well, Light Shader. He's going to go down. And generally speaking, John, if you're this Ursa, you don't necessarily want to farm that mid lane. Not at this stage of the game, but again, he just doesn't have a choice. Top lane, speaking of farming, Alien Mana Banana, he was trying to just get some free farm up at that top lane, but Monkeys Forever with the Boots of Travel does TP back up, and along with Z-Freak, they have plenty of control and damage.
Yeah, and they're just hammering in that control, as you mentioned, all over the place right now, taking basically every kill. If you pop out in the lane, there's a big chance that TOOBASED might just rotate out. They've got a lot of movement. They've got a lot of control right now. They do just need to start piercing through some of these outer objectives. Tier 2 still stand. That's going to be the next move for TOOBASED. There is still some really good high ground control here from the side of Byzantine Raiders. They've got AoE control with their arena. They just need to land that perfect angle and make the high ground as painful as possible for the side of TOOBASED to deal with. And that has kept TOOBASED at bay. Despite all these kills, despite this net worth lead, they have been very cautious about going up the high ground. They are paying some respect towards Byzantine Raiders' potential defense here.
No, absolutely. You don't want to throw this game away, especially when you have a lead this big. Like we talked about earlier, it doesn't feel like TOOBASED are in any form of a rush to try and finish this game. They are in complete control right now, and with the whole map to farm, you could just keep extending the net worth lead. As now top lane again, they're going to go onto that Leshrac, and Alien Mana Banana, he tries to get some farm. He just can't get anything done right now, as well as Empyrean. He just gets started on his own on that Witch Doctor. Now I Annihilate comes in. He does have the Dream Coil, but he is not going to pop it. He'll just hold on to it for now. Cube, he almost dies in the base. He was just about at 100 HP after that last tick of Melodict. Just when the Pos 5 Witch Doctor can just try and solo your Mars like that,
The ultimate sacrifice.
it's not a good feeling.
No, it's definitely not. Still, Byzantine Raiders don't lose too much for that little scuffle there. They still hold on to their high ground. Top and mid lanes are still fairly well defended, and they do smoke up. They want to make use of his spike on Frugos. He does pick up his Ag Shard, so there is a lot more to play with, but they did give away to Roche. So that's Aegis and She's now going the way of TOOBASED. A lot more lives to dig through here for Byzantine Raiders to find a win, but they, again, still have these amazing teamfight spells.
Boris. Straight onto the Veno. That's going to be Light Shader going down. They move in for more. They spotted out the Mars. Monkeys Forever couldn't get the lasso off in time. He does connect with the Flame Break, but can they close the gap? It looks like maybe they can, as now the BKB does come out. The arena has been dropped by Q, but it's not going to be enough. Boris just bashing him to death. Now the lasso is there onto the dieback of Light Shader. And you get into that point, if you are Byzantine Raiders, where you might consider calling GG now. It is getting way too big of a lead here on TOOBASED to really come back. For now, they're going to try. But I believe we are very, very close to a GG call as Monkeys does jump in for a Yule Scepter again. The root is there. Boris turns back around. Doesn't want to fight Murderer through that Enrage. But he does get that bot racks, and now they'll move into the mid racks. And there's just nothing to stop them.
No, the respawns are a bit too long. Even if our Mars respawns, they're not going to have Arena for a bit longer as well. So there's a lot of room to still play here. And again, they've got Aegis and Cheese. Not too much to be worried about. They will still be a bit cautious. Respawns are coming up soon. There might be a opportunity here for Byzantine Raiders as they are smoked up.
They're going to try. They have to try. Wukong's command, however, is going to be out. They do kill off Imperium, but now onto the Mars they go. Boris dealing out so much damage, and Z-Freak just soloing the Leshrac on his own in the Wukong's command. Meanwhile, I Annihilate taking out the backlines. They buy back on the Leshrac, but is it going to be enough? Murderer, he's trying to frontline for the team on this Ursa, but I Annihilate jumping back in. Z-Freak, he'll finish off the kill. That'll be a dieback on the Lesh. Onto Murderer now. He's trying to do something, but this Ghost Scepter from Z-Freak, he's just dancing around him. The BKB's there, but the lasso is perfectly timed, and they've had enough. They'll call the GG. And that'll be game one, going to the way of TOOBASED. I've got to say, John, it was a very convincing victory here from this dire side.